Um, Good evening, students. Let us have the session on how to calculate the long-term deflection. So, in the previous problems, we have considered the short-term deflection. But let us see how to calculate the long-term deflection. So, we'll take one problem. The problem is like this. A simply supported beam of rectangular section 250 mm wide by 450 mm overall depth is used over an effective span of 4 meter. The beam is reinforced with 3 bars of 20 mm diameter Fe415 HOSD bars at an effective depth of 400 mm. Two hanger bars of 10 mm diameter are provided. Okay, the self weight of the beam together with dead load on the beam is 4 kilonewton per meter. Service live load 10 kilonewton per meter. Using M20 grade concrete, compute, that is first one short term deflection, then second one long term deflection according to the provisions of the Indian Standard Code, that is IS 456 2000. Okay, so the this problem already we have solved, where we have found out this first one, that is short term deflection. Same thing, the problem will be used, then we'll calculate the long term deflection. So as per the given data, this is a width of the beam, then overall depth of the beam, then effective depth of the beam. This is 3 bars of 20 mm diameter, that is area of steel. Then again here they have mentioned 2 hanger bars. Okay, 2 numbers of hanger bars of 10 mm diameter. See, can you see this top? Top 2 bars are provided. So these are called as hanger bars or anchor bars. Okay, hanger bars or anchor bars, and all these three and about two, these will be tied together with stirrups. This is called as stirrups. What you are seeing, this ring, this is stirrups. Okay, so these are main steel bar, these two are compression steel. Okay, then so these are the given data. Width 250 mm, capital D, overall depth 450 mm, effective depth 400 mm, span of the beam 4 meter or 4000 mm, live load it is given 10 kilonewton live load, then self weight plus dead load is equal to 4 kilonewton meter. Okay, then FCK 20 Newton per mm square and Fy 415 Newton per mm square. Now what is the area of steel AST now? This is main steel AST, tension steel, that is 3 bars of 20 mm. So that is 3 into pi by 4 diameter square. Okay, so that is 342 mm square. Similarly here, what is the area of this compression steel? It is denoted as ASC. AST, it is area of tension reinforcement. ASC, area of compression reinforcement. So it will be provided at the top. Okay, 2 bars of 10 mm diameter. So 2 into pi by 4, 10 square, that is 158 mm square. Now, what is the tensile strength of concrete? FCR. FCR is equal to 0.7 into root FCK. Already we've seen this formula. FCR is equal to 0.7 into root FCK. 0.7 into root 20, that is 3.13 Newton per mm square. That is FCR. Okay. Then Young's modulus of concrete, EC, capital E indicates Young's modulus of this C, concrete. Young's modulus of concrete 5000 root FCK. Okay, 5000 root FCK, that is 5000 root 20, that is 22360 Newton per mm square. Okay, now first we'll calculate short term deflection. Okay, first we'll calculate short term deflection. So as the beam is simply supported and subjected to UDL throughout the span, so what is the maximum deflection? That is called as a short term deflection, is given by formula, that is AI permanent. That is A indicate deflection. Okay, short term deflection, AI permanent, that is equal to, for simply supported beam with UDL, The maximum deflection at the center is 5 WL raised to 4 divided by 384 EI. Okay, that is 5 by 384 small w L raised to 4 divided by EI. Now what is W? W is the total load, that is live load plus dead load plus self weight. So that is 4 plus 10, 14 kilonewton per meter. It is in the form of UDL. L, span of the beam is 4 meter. This span 4 meter. Then E. E is nothing but EC. Okay. This capital E, Young's modulus of concrete, you have to substitute. That is what we have calculated here. This is EC. Then I. What is I? I equal to I effective. Okay. I equal to I effective moment of inertia. So I is moment of inertia. So I effective is effective moment of inertia. So this I, okay, we have to substitute I effective. This E, we have to substitute EC. Then how to calculate this I effective now? So I effective calculated using this formula. That is IR divided by 1.2 minus MR divided by M into Z by D into bracket 1 minus X by D BW by B. Okay, this already formula we know. So I effective will be calculated from this equation. So then this I effective will be substituted here. I, then E equal to EC. Okay, W is equal to total load, L is span. Then we can calculate this short term deflection. But again, if you want to calculate I effective, first these terms will be calculated. Okay, first we'll calculate this M. Capital M is what? Maximum bending moment. Again, so since it is a simply supported beam with UDL throughout the span, what is the maximum bending moment at the center? It is WL square by 8. Okay, W is total load, L is span divided by 8. So this comes out 28 kilonewton meter. 28 kilonewton meter. This is M, capital M, that is maximum bending moment. So M is equal to 28 multiply into 10 to the power of 6, because kilonewton to Newton, then meter to millimeter, you have to multiply 10 to the power of 6. So this becomes Newton mm, not Newton per. See, it is Newton mm. So this is maximum bending moment M. Okay, next MR we are going to calculate. What is MR? MR is cracking moment. Okay, this is bending moment. MR is cracking moment. So MR is equal to FCR into IGR divided by YT. Okay, FCR into IGR divided by YT. Now first calculate this IGR. Again, I is moment of inertia. GR is gross. So gross moment of inertia, IGR equal to, so since it is a rectangular beam, okay, so moment of inertia is BDQ by 12. Okay, for rectangle, moment of inertia is BDQ by 12. So B, capital D cube by 12. Okay, that is B is 250 into capital D, that is overall depth 450 cube divided by 12. So gross moment of inertia will be 18.98 into 10 raised to 8 mm raised to 4. So this is IGR. So IGR. Next we'll calculate FCR. Okay, FCR. What is FCR? FCR is nothing but the tensile strength of concrete. FCR will be tensile strength of concrete. Here we have calculated here. FCR is equal to 0.7 into root FCK. Okay, so this is calculated. So FCR we have calculated. Okay, IGR we have calculated. Next YT. What is YT? YT is nothing but distance of extreme tensile fiber. Tensile fiber means bottom face of the beam. Distance of bottom face of the beam from the centroid of the section. So it is a rectangle. Okay, so centroid will be at the half of the total depth. Okay, so YT is equal to overall depth divided by 2. That is 450 by 2, 225 mm. Okay, so substitute all the three values, we'll get cracking moment MR. So MR is equal to FCR into IGR divided by YT. Okay, substitute FCR, tensile strength of concrete, gross moment of inertia divided by this YT, will get cracking moment MR. Okay, right. So therefore, you can calculate this IR first. So MR we have calculated, M we have calculated, IR we will going to calculate first. So what is IR? Okay, moment of inertia of cracked section. Don't get confusion this IGR and IR. IGR is moment of inertia of gross section, total section. IR equal to what? Moment of inertia of cracked section. After cracking, whatever the moment of inertia is there, that is called cracking moment of inertia, that is IR. So how will find out IR? IR equal to bx cube by 3 plus mast into d minus x square. Okay, so this is small m, not capital M. Bx cube by 3 plus mast into d minus x square. So what is m now? So m is this small m is equal to modular ratio. Okay, small m is equal to modular ratio. How will calculate m? It is Young's modulus of steel divided by Young's modulus of concrete. Okay, so that is steel. So always for steel, what is Young's modulus? 2 into 10 raised to 5 Newton per mm square. Okay, this is fixed Young's modulus of steel. Then what is Young's modulus of concrete? Already we have calculated 22,360 Newton per mm square. So ES divided by capital EC, Young's modulus of steel divided by Young's modulus of concrete will give modular ratio. So M comes out 13, that is 13. Modular ratio is 13. Now what is X now? Here X is equal to depth of neutral axis from compression flange, means from the top up to the depth where the neutral axis is there, that is called as X, and it is calculated as, right, this formula bx cube by 2 bx square by 2 is equal to mast into d minus x. Already we know this, how this formula is came. We know this bx square by 2 is equal to mast into d minus x. So here substitute b 250 x square divided by 2, m is modular ratio 13 into area of steel AST 942 into effective depth 400 minus x. So simplify this, we will going to get the quadratic equation. Okay, quadratic equation we will going to get and solve that quadratic equation, and we will going to get the neutral axis depth from the top is 155 mm, that is x is equal to 155 mm. Now next, so substitute this x value here, IR. Okay, we have calculated x now. We calculated m, AST is known, D is known. Substitute all these values here. We'll get moment of inertia of this cracked section, IR. IR is equal to bx cube by 3 plus mast into d minus x square. Substitute all these values, m, x, d. Okay, we'll get AST, we'll get IR. Okay, IR is equal to 10.45 into 10 raised to 8 mm raised to 4. This is moment of inertia of cracked section. Then what is Z now? Lever arm. Z is equal to d minus x by 3 or 1/3 of x. D minus effective depth minus 1/3 of x. So substitute d 400, x is 155 divided by 3. So neutral axis, lever arm Z is equal to 348.34 mm. Okay, then for rectangular beam BW by B is equal to 1. This, so since it is a rectangular beam, BW by B, this term always we are going to take as 1 only. So therefore equation 2 becomes, what is equation 2? This effective moment of inertia, I effective is equal to IR divided by 1.2 minus MR upon M into Z by D into bracket 1 minus X by D into BW by B. So this is IR. Okay, this 10.45 into 10 raised to 8 divided by 1.2 minus cracking moment of inertia, that is 26 into 10 raised to 6 divided by maximum bending moment 28 into 10 raised to 6 into Z is lever arm, this lever arm divided by effective depth into bracket 1 minus X. So this is a neutral axis depth divided by D, effective depth 400. In this term will be 1. For rectangular, this BW by B, this will be 1. So calculate effective moment of inertia. I effective is equal to 14.93 into 10 raised to 8 mm raised to 4. This is the effective moment of inertia, I effective. So therefore equation 1, that is, first you have to calculate short term deflection. Short term deflection for simply supported beam subjected to UDL is 5 by 384 into WL raised to 4 divided by EI. So E you have to substitute EC, that is Young's modulus of concrete, and I you have to substitute I effective, this effective. So whatever the value you have calculated, substitute this 5 by 384, this 5 by 384, W is total load 14 into L is 4000 mm raised to 4 divided by this EC, Young's modulus of concrete, then effective moment of inertia. So what will be the short term deflection? Short term deflection, this is denoted by AI permanent. AI permanent, this is nothing but short term deflection is equal to 1.39 mm. So immediately the load comes on the beam, how much beam will going to deflect? That is called a short term deflection, 1.39 mm. So this is the first quantity. Next we'll calculate long term deflection. Okay, long term deflection, it is denoted as ALD. A indicate deflection, LD long term deflection. Okay, so long term deflection, this is a formula. ALD is equal to AI permanent, okay, AI permanent plus ACS, okay, ACS plus ACC permanent. Try to understand what are these terms now. So this is the total deflection, okay, total long term deflection, okay, that is equal to, this will be short term deflection, okay, whatever previously we have calculated, short term deflection, that is AI permanent plus ACS. What is ACS? Okay, shrinkage deflection. ACS is shrinkage deflection. ACC permanent is creep deflection. So creep deflection plus shrinkage deflection will give long term deflection. Plus if you add short term deflection, this will be the total deflection. Okay, total long term deflection, short term deflection plus shrinkage deflection plus creep deflection. So add these three, we'll get this long term deflection. This already we have calculated. Okay, this we have calculated. These two we'll going to calculate first. Okay, first is shrinkage deflection, that is ACS. A means deflection due to shrinkage. Yes. Okay, so how this will be calculated now? ACS, that is shrinkage deflection, is equal to K3, this is a constant term, K3 into 5CS into L square. Okay, so what is K3 now? K3, it is a constant, and for simply supported beam, okay, if the beam is simply supported, this K3 value will be 0.125. You can refer this in IS 456 2000 also. Okay, for simply supported beam, this K3 will be 0.125. Then what is 5CS? 5CS is equal to shrinkage curvature. This 5CS equal to shrinkage curvature. This 5CS is calculated as K4 into ECS divided by D. Okay, K4 into ECS divided by D, capital D. Then what is this K4 and ECS? See, ECS is ultimate shrinkage strain. Okay, ultimate shrinkage strain. Sometimes this will be given in the problem, or directly you can assume, okay, shrinkage strain. Okay, shrinkage strain is equal to 0.0003. Okay, this is a strain which has no unit. Okay, it is a unitless. Strain will be unitless. So if the In the problem, if it is not given directly, you can assume 0.0003 will be this ECS. Then what is this K4? K4 is equal to 0.72, okay, into bracket PT minus PC, okay, divided by root PT. So this will be used, this equation will be used when this PT minus PC, okay, PT minus PC, if it is greater than 0.25 and less than 1, then only this equation will be used. Now we'll check what is PT minus PC. This PT minus PC. What is PT? Okay, PT is percentage of steel. It is in terms of percentage. So how we'll calculate PT? We know the area of tensile reinforcement. PT is equal to AST upon BD into 100. Okay, so we'll get percentage. So PT will calculate like AST upon BD into 100. Already we know AST we know, divided by B we know, effective depth we know, multiply 100, we'll get PT. So PT will be 0.942. Okay, 0.942. Then what about PC? PC. Okay, same percentage of compression reinforcement. Okay, top you have provided 2 bars. So we'll get ASC. So ASC upon BD into 100. So AST divided by BD into 100 will give PT. ASC divided by BD into 100 will give PC. Okay, so PC value is 0.158. 0.158. So calculate this PT minus PC. So that is 0.784. We'll get PT minus PC is equal to 0.784. Now see, this is 0.784, okay, which is greater than 0.25 and less than 1. So therefore, this equation will be used to calculate K4. Okay, so this K4. So K4 is 0.72 into PT minus PC, this value, 0.784 divided by root PT. So this is 0.58. This should be less than 1. Less than or equal to 1. Anyhow, this is less than 1. So therefore, substitute this K4 value, okay, ECS value divided by D, will get this 5CS. 5CS. So therefore, shrinkage curvature 5CS is equal to K4 into ECS divided by D. That is 0.58. This is 0.58 into, this is strain 0.0003 divided by 450. So this is 4.35 into 10 raised to minus 7. Okay, again this is a strain. Shrinkage curvature means it is a strain, no unit. Okay, so this 5CS we have calculated. 5CS we know, K3 we know, this 0.125, span we know, you can calculate the shrinkage deflection. So therefore, shrinkage deflection is equal to, that is ACS is equal to K3 into 5CS L square. So substitute the values. So this shrinkage deflection is 0.87 mm. Okay, 0.87 mm. Now next we'll calculate creep deflection. Deflection due to creep. Okay, this is denoted as ACC. This is ACS. ACS means shrinkage deflection. ACC means creep deflection. Okay, so this will be how this will be calculated, creep deflection. So creep deflection will be ACC permanent, that is equal to AICC. AICC permanent minus AI permanent. This is short term deflection. Okay, this is short term deflection. So this we're going to calculate. Then we'll get this creep deflection. So therefore, what is this now? AICC permanent. Okay, this is nothing but initial plus creep deflection due to permanent loads obtained by using effective loads. And this will be obtained by using effective modulus of elasticity. That is ECE is equal to EC upon 1 plus theta. This formula is there in the code book. Okay, ECE is equal to EC divided by 1 plus theta. And what is theta? Theta is equal to creep coefficient. This theta is creep coefficient and its value is 1.6. Okay, for 28 days of loading, means when the beam is subjected to 28 days loading, what will be this theta creep coefficient? It is 1.6. This value is there in code book. Okay, so theta is 1.6. So therefore AICC permanent, this is short term deflection. Okay, this is short term deflection. So therefore ECE, this ECE is equal to EC divided by 1 plus theta. So EC divided by 1 plus theta. Here you have to substitute ECE. In short term deflection, what you have calculated, here you have to substitute this ECE. This ECE is calculated with this. That is EC divided by 1 plus theta. EC divided by 1 plus. So theta is 1.6. So this comes 1 plus 1.6 means 2.6. So EC divided by 2.6. So this value ECE is equal to EC divided by 2.6. So therefore AICC permanent is equal to 5 WL raised to 4 divided by 384 ECE into I effective. So 5 WL raised to 4 divided by 384 into EC. EC is what? ECE is equal to EC by 2.6. So EC by 2.6 into I effective. Already we have calculated this effective moment of inertia. So therefore this goes top. Okay, this goes top, that is 2.6. 2.6. Then now what about this now? 5 WL raised to 4 divided by 384 into EC into I effective. Except this 2.6. If you remove this 2.6, this goes top now. So what remaining? 5 WL raised to 4 divided by 384 EC into I effective. What is this becomes? This is nothing but, okay, this will be short term deflection. Okay, already we have calculated this here. Okay, short term deflection. Okay, see 5 WL raised to 4 divided by 384 EC into I effective. EC into I effective is short term deflection. So therefore, so 2.6, this 2.6 goes top, 2.6 into this term is short term deflection. So therefore, this AICC permanent, this AICC permanent is equal to, okay, 2.6 into short term deflection, that is 2.6, 1.39. Already it is calculated. So this will be 3.614 mm. Okay, this AICC permanent 3.614 mm. So therefore creep deflection, this creep deflection, okay, creep deflection ACC permanent is equal to AICC permanent minus AI permanent. This is short term deflection. Okay, so therefore creep deflection is equal to AICC permanent minus AI permanent, that is short term, this is deflection. So 3.614 minus 1.39. In the previous calculated it is 1.39. So therefore creep deflection will be 2.224 mm. 2.224 mm. Now this is a creep deflection, and in previous we have calculated, okay, shrinkage deflection. Okay, and before this we have calculated, okay, this short term deflection. Add all the three, that is total long term deflection. Okay, total long term deflection ALD, long term deflection, is equal to short term deflection plus shrinkage deflection plus creep deflection. That is AI permanent, short term deflection 1.39, shrinkage deflection, this is shrinkage deflection 0.87 plus creep deflection, that is 2.224. So add all the three, we'll get total long term deflection, that is ALD is equal to 4.48 mm. This is the second quantity what they have asked. First is short term deflection, then long term deflection, it will be addition of these three. So in the first we will calculate this, then these two will be calculated separately, add all the three, will get total long term deflection. Okay, so please solve this problem once again. Okay, use the calculator correctly, and if you have any doubt, so feel free to ask me. Okay, so we'll come up with some more problems in the next session. I hope you understood this problem. Solve once again. Okay, thank you very much for attending this session. Thank you.